Today we're going to go over outside scholarships. So what I mean when I say outside scholarships, this just means a scholarship that's offered outside of BYU-Idaho. So we're just talking about scholarships in general. So I'm going to jump into what most people are probably interested in, and that's where to find these scholarship opportunities. So a few recommendations we have is you could check where you bank at. You can check utility companies. If you are a single student and you do not pay for utilities yet, you can check through your parents' utility companies. If you're married and you have utilities in your name, once again, check through the utility providers that you have. So before I worked in here at BYU Idaho, I actually worked in a utility billing company, and I've spoken to many utility providers across the country. Now, my experience is it's typically electric and gas providers that are providing the scholarships. You're more than welcome to try your water and trash providers as well. But like I said, typically I see it with electric and gas providers. Your parents' employment, a lot of times employers will offer scholarship opportunities to the children of the employee at the company if the parent is working at a larger company. So if your parents own their own business, or if it's a smaller company, you might not have this option. But if your parents do work for a larger company, mainly like a corporation or a chain company, have them speak to their HR rep, and there might be a scholarship waiting for you there. If you're currently working, you could also check with your own employer. Once again, it's mainly with corporations or larger companies. So when I think of student employment, I think of places like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A. A lot of those do offer scholarships, and we do see those scholarships come through BYU Idaho. So check with your employers as well. High school counselors are a good resource to speak to. A lot of time they're given resources to local scholarships that you may qualify for, as well as they might have scholarships given to the high school for graduates of that high school, or students who did attend that high school. So go back to your old high school counselors and see what opportunities you might be missing there. There are state-sponsored scholarships. The example that comes to mind for me is here in Idaho, there's an Idaho Opportunity Grant. So if you graduated from a high school here in Idaho, you might qualify for the Idaho Opportunity Grant. So a rule of thumb we go by is the more local the scholarship, the easier it is to qualify. Now we say that because if a scholarship is more local or relevant to you, it's just going to cut out a lot of the competition you have. If you go online and search for a scholarship, literally anyone can do that. So it might be that anyone can apply for that scholarship and qualify. But if you find a scholarship that's more local to where you live at, or something more specific to you and your circumstances, it's just going to cut out a lot of the competition you might have to fight. So those were a few places we generally tell people to check for scholarship opportunities that are local and specific to you, but there are also scholarship search engines. I've listed a couple of the most popular ones near the top, so scholarshipamerica.com as well as scholarshipowl.com. Those are pretty consistent scholarship search engines. And what I mean when I say a scholarship search engine is typically they'll have you put in information about yourself. To see if you fit specific demographics that might qualify for a scholarship. So some of these search engines might ask you to provide, religious views, your ethnicity, any organizations you're affiliated with, what major are you declared and seeking for a degree in, things of that nature. You can put information in about yourself, and it will go out and find scholarships specifically to you. Now, moving on, there is Scholarship Universe as well. This is a free resource provided by BYU Idaho. What's nice about Scholarship Universe is the scholarships that are provided through there have been vetted by the company. So the company that's gone through and has compiled all the scholarships in the search engine, they made sure that they're legitimate and they're not just scams trying to get free information out from you. There is also a scholarship search through Sallie Mae. If you don't know what Sallie Mae is, it's a student loan website. They specialize in giving students loans, but they also have a free sign up where you can go in and also use their scholarship search engine without ever having to accept a loan from them. So check out that resource as well. I'm going to take the next couple slides just to show you how to get to Scholarship Universe if you're interested in using that search engine. I've got the BYU-Idaho homepage. If you look under resources, I've circled around the financial aid tab. If you click on that, it will take you to this point where I've once again circled around Scholarship Universe. If you click on that button, it'll take you directly to the normal BYU-Idaho login. So you'll sign in as yourself for your account, and then it will start asking you questions about yourself. So you can start answering questions. You can stop at any time and start searching for scholarships you might be interested in. And then you can go back and answer more questions if you wanted to get more specific scholarships to you. All right, so talking about scholarships, they generally come with award letters. Now, what award letters do is they tell us, the school, how you're eligible for that scholarship or how we are allowed to award it. So some examples of what could be an award letter is it might tell us that you need to be at least taking 12 credits in order to qualify for it. They might also tell us specifically which semesters we're allowed to disperse that money to you. So if they do give you an award letter if you apply for a scholarship and you have been awarded the scholarship. If they give you the award letter, make sure that gets to the school as well. So along with the award letter, it's possible the scholarship agency might give you the check to the scholarship. Now, generally you won't be able to cash the check on your own. It'll have to be cashed through BYU-Idaho, and then BYU-Idaho will disperse that money to you. So if you do happen to end up in the circumstance where the scholarship agency gives you your scholarship as well as an award letter, here's some good resources for how to get the scholarship to us. So there is an address where you can mail it to. If you're here in person and you just want to bring us the scholarship, you can take this scholarship over to the cashier's office with the award letter and give both to them. And then accounting will process the scholarship and make sure the money is added to your account. And they will also notify the financial aid office as well. So you can come and talk to us if you have any questions specifically about your scholarship here at the financial aid office. So a lot of these agencies are also wiring these funds electronically to BYU-Idaho. So you might not get anything at all. So don't fret if you don't get the scholarship check as well as the award letter. So a lot of times we have students come to the financial aid office about their scholarship. They just have general questions, and I've tried to set up this diagram to show when you would want to come talk to the BYU-Idaho financial aid office about those questions or to go to your scholarship provider. So I'll run through a couple of these. There might be some overlap and I'll explain a little more. So first one for the BYU-Idaho side, when will the funds disperse to my account? So you can come talk to us here at the financial aid office. Typically, it's the first day when classes start, we'll release the funds to you. If you have any questions, though, come and talk to us. What semesters am I being awarded my scholarship? So another good question, come and talk to us. If we have an award letter, we can tell you specifically when we'll be dispersing that money to you. Now, this is one of those bullet points that might be a crossover between us and the scholarship provider. Reason is the award letter might specifically say, disperse this money in the fall semester. Now, you might not be on track for the fall semester, so you'd rather have it for the winter semester. If that's the case, we will refer the student to speak to the scholarship provider to get permission for us to move the award from fall to winter. So there's some overlap there in who you might talk to. Third bullet, what happens to the leftover scholarship funds after tuition is paid? Usually, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, the money is just given back to you. So if all your tuition's paid and you still have a scholarship available to you for that semester, the accounting office will either send you a check with the funds, or if you have e-refund set up with them, they'll just deposit it directly into your bank account. So where's my scholarship? This is one that sits in the overlapping section of who to speak to. So So you can come and talk to BYU-Idaho first here at the financial aid office just to see if we have your scholarship, if it's being processed. If we don't see it in our system, we might tell you to go back and speak to the scholarship provider just to verify that it has been sent to us, what address it's been sent to. And if it's been a long time and we still haven't seen the scholarship that they sent, we might tell you to cancel the check that the scholarship agency sent and then to resend a new one. So on the scholarship provider side of things, the first bullet is, can I move my scholarship to a different semester? We covered that briefly before, so I won't go too much into that again. Can I use my scholarship money for things outside of tuition? If the award letter states that we can give you the funds and that you can use it for other things, then the answer is yes. But if the scholarship agency is specific that they want the funds only used for tuition and then the rest of the money sent back to them, you may need to speak to the scholarship provider to see if you can keep those funds or use them for something else. Can I be eligible for the scholarship again? Once again, you'd have to speak with the provider if we don't have any information on you being awarded additional funds. Last bullet point, exceptions to the award letter. Like I've mentioned throughout this slide, any exceptions to the award letter, you would just need to go speak to the scholarship provider to see if they will make exceptions to it. Typically, they'll provide a letter or send us an email saying we can go outside of what they originally stated in the award letter. All right, so if you do have any questions about your scholarship, feel free, you can email us at outsidesscholarships@byui.edu. If you're here on campus and want to come speak to us in person, we're in Kimball 196. You can speak to us there as well. And then lastly, just a general email for financial aid questions. If you wanted to email us at financialaid@byui.edu, that's also a good resource to use. Thank you. Have a good one.